Good evening. I'm Jay William. I'll be your host tonight for American Business Revolution. Again, vote with your dollars. Let's make sure that we're not asking for more of the same. What is that? More of the same. More of the same is what we don't like right now. More of the same is less jobs. More of the same is less manufacturing in America. We have an absolute dire need to open the factories again and put America back to work. More overseas goods at lower prices are not the answer. In fact, the worst business model one could possibly have is to be the cheapest. Yes, I know there have been some very good success stories, but in general, it's a race to the bottom. Not really going to be sustainable. Being innovative, being in a niche market, supplying a need where a need's not being met. That's a good business model. So let's talk more about what's going wrong. What's going wrong? Well, we have the Trilateral Shipping Alliance. That's gone horribly wrong. You're welcome to look that up. We'll go into detail on that one later. China can ship inexpensive goods directly to consumers for free, or virtually for free. It's costing the United States Postal Service $30 million a year or something to that effect, and we're trying to expand on that. But there's no free lunch here, and American manufacturing has taken a complete dive in this aspect. This aspect of business is dying, and in some cases just dormant. But, you know, we don't want to kill it off entirely. We don't want it to go extinct. What we want is for that vacuum to get filled, and we want it filled with American manufacturing. It can be done, and here's the really interesting component. It can be done by you and me. Not huge, multi-million-dollar corporate entities. You and I could step in and get this going. And some of us are going to be rather successful at it. Others of us are going to replace our jobs and create a career where we're our own boss. Some of us are going to try a few times, fail, try a few more times and fail, but eventually find something that's at least a side hustle. And some of us are going to try once, give up, and not think twice. And for those of you that just don't have the drive for it, it's okay. But do one thing for the rest of us. Vote with your dollars and buy American whenever possible. I understand that financially and feasibly it's not always possible, but do your best. At the very least, don't buy directly from overseas sources. Don't jump on eBay or Alibaba and buy directly, Amazon, directly from an overseas source because it's cheap and you're willing to wait. Don't do it. It's nearly a cardinal sin. You're hurting your brothers, you're hurting your sisters, you're hurting your fellow man here in the United States. This hurts. It's killing jobs, it's killing prosperity, eating a hole through the middle class, among other reasons, but it's a good contributing factor. So let's not do that anymore. And please, I know plenty of people are going to say, oh yes, well, but you can distribute product through online sources by buying it very inexpensively on Alibaba and then selling it for a profit. Well, yes and no. Yes, you can go and buy that really, really inexpensive item and then sell it here in the United States and direct distribute that. But it's kind of a carnival trick. You're buying that 45-cent Kewpie doll and hoping somebody spends out $7 or $9 to get it. At the end of the day, the company that made that 45-cent Kewpie doll can just sell that 45-cent Kewpie doll to your customer directly without the shipping. Oh, that's right. You got to spend $2.77 to ship it, and they don't. Seems a little lopsided. Seems like the playing field is tilted. Well, it is. The playing field's not level. What's going on isn't okay, and we need to make a change. The one most effective way is voting with your dollars. If you're not spending the money, if enough of us don't spend the money, they'll stop selling it to us. Little crazy fact. If the need's not there, the need won't be fulfilled. This is not there. So it's going to be a tough one. But if we're all going to start doing this for ourselves and making it in America become something that is important to you and important to me, we have to make these decisions. Now, starting out, some of the equipment we're going to need, we're not going to be able to afford that American-made machine. It's, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars more than the comparable machine that we need to start, and we don't have budget. Well, then be scalable. Find a way to start with something that gets you started, but scale up, upgrade, and push out to have that better equipment. And I'm not just saying do it because it's American. I'm saying because it's better. I have some inexpensive Chinese pieces of equipment here and there that fill a need for now, but they don't last very long. Case in point, on a CNC router, you can have a Persky spindle, which is a very common, or a Colombo spindle, and I have some on some of the pieces of equipment we have here. They last for years, 10, 20 years, no problem. I got 15 years out of my little 3-horse Persky spindle. And it still works fine, it just wasn't perfect. Now, the equivalent 3-horse air-cooled spindle, overseas, $400, $350, whatever it is, it lasts about a year. The bearings go. And it doesn't just not make great looking parts anymore. I mean, it outright does some scary stuff. The bearing seize up. The very expensive variable frequency drive goes into overload. Well, you don't want to blow that thing. That's going to cost you some money. So yeah, it's not exactly a great idea to be running that equipment serious with volume when you scale up. Get rid of it when you scale up. Get it done now. Scale up as soon as you can. Get the good equipment when you get the real business rolling. So, but at the end of the day, what I really want to impress upon you is this one thing. Stop buying cheap junk for the sake that it's cheap junk. If you have to buy something used, buy it used. Buy a quality thus and so, but buy it used if you have to. Buy from an American distributor who's at least going to benefit from the idea of having moved the product to you. And avoid at all costs the idea of creating a business model by being a middleman between the overseas garbage and that customer. Because I guarantee you the manufacturer of that overseas garbage is going to walk around you and sell it to them cheaper because you have no ability to do anything about it. They'll sell it to your consumer, to your customer, at the same price they sell to you, or nearly the same price, and they'll get to ship it for free. Again, the Trilateral Shipping Alliance rears its ugly head, but we will in time vote that one down. That one needs to die. And at some point, enough of us will stand up and put it to bed. But until then, what we can do is vote with our dollars and stop the flow of money that feeds the fire of the online glut for inexpensive goods that are really just not well made. I know they serve a need, but let's let them serve a need while pushing it through an American distribution channel. Or maybe repurposing and buying a used piece of equipment. Let's do everything we can to keep our purchases here at home, to benefit those who work here, because you work here, you want to create a business here, you want to move forward. This is something that is going to be very difficult and foreign to a lot of people who haven't tried this before. And trust me, it's not that easy. Once you start really thinking about it, there's a lot of ways you can spend a lot more money than you planned on. But if you make smart choices, those can be good choices too. So let's put some effort behind it. You want to start your business, you want to get things going, or you already own your business and you're looking for new ways to branch out. You want some more information, and that's why you're here. That's fine. We're going to feed that need. But tonight's topic is where you're spending your money. So let's be careful with that. It really makes more of a difference than you can imagine. So let's put this to bed. Let's make a commitment. You want people to buy from you, and one of the reasons you want that is you're putting stickers on your product. You have your logo on there, and what does it say? Made in America. That should mean something. The customer needs to know. There's a reason they're buying that from you. And you need to also profess this as a model for yourself. Why are you buying a product? Well, in this case, I'm buying it because it's American made and it's quality. And I want more manufacturing jobs in America. I want more business in America. I want Americans to get their dream back. I want Americans to open that factory over there and put my kid to work. And I want my neighbor's kid to go over there and work. And I want everyone in my neighborhood to be able to buy that product that says made in America, and they know that it was made right here in hometown. So let's bring some of this back. It's going to be difficult. There's no doubt about it. Corporate industry has really pushed for the highest possible bottom line. And there's a lot to it. But many Americans are moving in a direction that doesn't necessarily prop up corporate profits. It props themselves up. It props up their own communities, and it props up their needs, wants, and desires. So let's do that. After 27 years of doing this for myself in various different ways, methods, and means, I'm very proud of making it in America, and I want to share that with you. I want you to be able to be proud of making it in America too. So you have a great evening. Again, I'm Jay William for American Business Revolution. Good evening, good night.